is it really going to be worth my time? Not so much my money, because, okay, time is money. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Debt Free College Kid channel. I've gotten a question from one of you that basically was along the lines of, well, Jeff, in college, how should I invest? What do you have specific stocks that you would recommend? Just cover investing in general in college. What should I do? And so this video is to answer that question, and maybe a lot of you have that question as well. My perspective is, in short, that college students are investing. They just don't realize that they are. You'd hear from recruiting officers and all those people that, oh, college is an investment in your future. And that is true. But typically the next 2 or 3 sentences out of their mouth, or the next paragraph that they point you to, is how you can fund that investment with debt. And that's not what I'm about at all. Instead, I do like the frame of mind, because it's true that college is an investment. But it's not so much an investment in your future as it is an investment in yourself, so that you can live your future to the fullest. I used to think, as part of my strategy to become debt-free, and this was still my senior year when I was frazzled trying to find every nook and cranny to get money and every tactic or strategy to make some positive change in the bottom line for how much, college will cost. And so I started looking at investing. And, there was this boom you better hop in now. The economy's booming. It's going to soar. And then the pandemic hit and then started tanking. And then you started hearing people say, now's the time to join. Now's the time to join. It's at an all-time low. And yeah, that was a roller coaster, especially for someone like me, just, a high schooler who didn't know anything about investing whatsoever, jumping in and, investing a little bit here and there. That was a roller coaster. I thought I knew what I was doing. And thankfully I didn't have a loss when it was all said and done. But boy, that was a headache. And if you think that's going to be your story, if you take some money and invest it in college, save yourself the stress and wait. It's okay to wait. But, of course, you don't want to wait 20 years. That'd be foolish. Because compound interest, the major factor with compound interest is that it takes time. And, I think it was, if you have an average rate of return of 10%, that your money would double every 7 years. Something, I think I remember that right. But if that's the case, then you would want to, it would behoove you to start early so that your money can start doubling and doubling and doubling and doubling. And pretty soon, 1 year when you're 80 or 70 could bring you $1 million or more, just because of compound interest working for you. Investing in college, is that a wise decision? Is it a bad decision? I was talking with a mentor of mine, a financial coach, and I still keep in contact with him to this day. We call each other from time to time and just see how I'm doing. He gives me some tips and advice. But yeah, I remember calling him because I needed knowledge. That's what I lacked. I needed knowledge with this investing world and how to manage the limited finances that I did have. and how to go to college with it. And he said this, very wise words, that college is an investment in yourself, and you will give much greater returns than any S&P 500 index fund or any, TD Ameritrade portfolio. No. Don't go for those. Instead, Jeff, go for a valuable education, the knowledge you need to then create the future that you desire. And that really spoke to me. Very wise words. I haven't forgotten them, as you could tell. But that reframed my mind to say, okay, if I had $1,000, all right, I could spend that $1,000 in college, or I could buy some stocks and manage them in such a strategic way so as to prolong the life of that $1,000. Here's what I was thinking before my advisor told me that that college was an investment in myself. I thought, okay, I have $1,000. I could put this $1,000 to college, and it'd be worth $1,000. It'd be it would just pay off that much tuition. Or I could take that $1,000 and I could invest it. And here was my flawed idea at the beginning, was if I invested that $1,000, then I could make gains on it. And then I wouldn't have just $1,000 to pay toward tuition. I could have 1,000 and 200, 300, 400. Who knows? I could have had a lot more money over the course of 4 years to put toward my tuition. And so I was thinking about that, and I thought, wow, wouldn't it be nice to have an extra $100 or so to just start ebbing away at that tuition bill? But what I didn't consider, a lot of things, not the least of which was capital gains taxes, just the time commitment of managing such a portfolio, also the just the what so there's a term called like liquid assets, and liquid assets are like cash or assets that you have quick access to. You have free access to those. So if I had a $10 bill in my hand, that's very liquid. Like, I have it, and I could spend it anywhere. If it's in my wallet, all I have to do is break open my wallet, and I have it. It's very accessible. But something that's not liquid, or not as liquid, would be an asset like if you had a real estate investment, You can't just sell a house the next day. Well, maybe for some of you in California that might be the case, but still, you generally don't just have access to that money. You have to convert that asset into cash, which then goes to your bank account, and then you can access it. And that's an example of a non-liquid asset. And stocks are kind of the same way, like you purchase them, but you can't just access that money again to pay for an emergency. You have to wait until market hours are open, and then you have to get a bid out. You gotta get a buyer to sell to, and you can sell your shares to them. And then after all that's said and done, then you can pull it out or transfer it to your bank account, which might be instant, or it might take 5 business days. Who knows? And so, yeah, I would not recommend tying up your money for tuition or college expenses in investments. that just, after thinking about this for a while, it's not the best strategy. Think of it this way. You save yourself time, and that's your most valuable resource when you're looking at this from your life scale. Like, okay, is it really going to be worth my time? Not so much my money, because, okay, time is money, but you want to make sure that you are cherishing your time. And you can have fun. That's a great use of time. But you can also have time where you are making more of a direct impact on that tuition bill. Investing. Okay, so let's just say hypothetically that you are in this situation where, hey, you already got college paid for. You either had a full ride scholarship, or your parents were generous and paid for it for you, and you just have this money that you want to do something with. You could spend it on a million candy bars, or you could invest it, or whatever. It's blow money. That's the point. If that's your case where you have college already paid for, that's the key. I want to say that again. If you have college already paid for, then I'm more than happy for you to invest. Investing is a great way to grow your assets and also to grow your financial literacy. Just reading documents and seeing what would be a good investment. What makes a business strong or weak? What are market forces? It all is very educational, and I would highly recommend it. But again, that's only if you have college already paid for. Or let me put it this way. You have the investment in yourself already funded. You have the investment in yourself already funded, and then you can go to another investment. So we're talking about investing and all of that when you're in college. Let's say that you either have college already paid for, or you have a plan in place, a strategy that you're working through to pay for college, to cash flow it debt-free. If that's the case, well, why not put in your budget a line item that it would normally be just blow money? And by the way, when you make a budget, you need to have blow money. You need to have money where you can not regret just letting go of it. Okay? And that's not to say like giving. You should do that too. You know what? Maybe I should make a budgeting video instead of just downloading all this information to you. But until then, let me suffice my budgeting advice down to this. You should have some fun money in your budget. And if you want to use that fun money on going to a theme park with a date, or if you want to use that money to, go to some on-campus event, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. That's what it's there for. It's to help you stay encouraged and enjoy your time in college instead of just having your nose to the grindstone and getting depressed and not having much fun, because I know how it is. You'll get discouraged, and then you'll fall off the debt-free path and say, college, who needs it, And you won't be necessarily thinking of your future, If you do think about, and I'm not saying it's necessarily bad to leave college, but if you've decided that it's the best course for your future, stay on that course. Anyway, with this fund money that you have, if you want to invest that in a stock, I would recommend investing it through an entity that does not charge you commission. Especially as a college student with maybe $20 as blow money. Like, that's not very much, you know? If you're charged a commission to make transactions or to invest, you should at least have $1,000 that you can put away. I found a resource, Robinhood, that does not charge commissions, and I've been investing through them with my blow money, and it's been pretty good. And you know, if you want to check them out too, I'll leave a link in the description, but that's where I would suggest putting your money. You know, some place that doesn't charge you commission and that you can understand. That's the key thing. It needs to be a place where you have control of your money. And so, yeah, I would recommend Robinhood because that's what I personally use. But if you find some other like app or, you know, maybe TD Ameritrade has some sort of plan that I don't know of that's commission free. But yeah, that's my investing advice, at least for now. Who knows? If you have more questions on it, by all means, put them in the comments. And maybe I'll make a series of how to invest in college. But again, I want to reiterate, you shouldn't be focused on investing in college. You should be focused on investing in yourself first, because that's what college is. Thank you all for listening and watching this video. If you enjoyed this, be sure to share it with a friend who might be having these same questions of, hey, how do I invest in college? What should I invest in? And, you know, maybe this video will help open their eyes to something they haven't thought before. Thank you all, and I'll catch you in the next video.